died from the venom. Through the dead bodies of the war sharks, hit them like salmon. I know you can't stand it. I spit the truth, goddammit. Big business got minutes, your ticket double back. Came to pick up all the blacks. Put some beer vibe, but we never got to relax. Pretend to tell the spirit, then you double back without a crack. The type of game that you play, hey, you keep it real, like going for it. Beat a couple court cases, had a warrant for it. Told my mama if I ever did time, I'ma raise up the whole yard. And my lawyer like, oh lord, district attorney had it on charge. Just no problem, ain't tripping, thumbing through the scriptures. Mine is at the Lord with your water, it's a small issue. Bounce back out the rebound. UPK got the heat down. Ain't to let me out the leash now, teaching in the streets now. I'm part of all trap stop, but it started in the east now. Look, grip on my peak, grip on my peak. Yeah, grip on my peak, grip on my peak. Grip on my peak, yeah, grip on my peak. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. On my peak, grip on my peak. Yeah, grip on my peak, grip on my peak. Grip on my peak, yeah, grip on my peak. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck. Fuck the white man, fuck the white man, fuck.
Alright, Shalom Israel. We're the Isupk, started out of 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana. We are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group on the planet Earth. We are located here at 5261 Delmore, Suite 8, St. Louis, Missouri, 63108. And if anybody want to listen to class live, got any questions, want to make a comment, you can dial 712-775-7035, access code 744252, or 781-448-4050, access code 13300. All right, now before we get started, if you have any questions, if you got any questions in the class, raise your hand, say Salaki or excuse me. If you got any on the line, take your phone off of mute and say Salaki or excuse me. All right, now you got your hand up? Go ahead, Jim. Nice and loud, so right here.
I had a question about eating forbidden fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know, was the forbidden fruit an apple or was it not a fruit at all?
Okay, cool. No sweat. Let's get to that. Give me go to Genesis. Let's at Genesis 3, and we'll read down to about let's go to 6. All right. Okay, now what make you think, you said was it an apple or was it some fruit? What made you think it was an apple?
Because they said it was a forbidden fruit.
Mm-hmm. But, okay, but what made you think it was an apple? What made you think of apple?
Someone told me it was an apple.
Somebody told you that? Exactly. You know what I mean? And what they did was they lied to you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to read this, we're going to see if apple is in here anywhere. All right? So we're on Genesis 3. And start at verse 1. I'm going to kind of go over the story a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here, this is like every little child's little story. You know, like first story in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They learn about the Bible, about God and all of that. Is they learn about Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? We even have children's books here that we turn around and we use to show the lies and versus the truth. You know what I mean? They've been teaching our children a bunch of lies about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Adam and Eve for a long time. It's just like, for instance, what nationality or what color do you think Adam and Eve was?
Well, it was white.
It was white. Now, why do you think that?
Because when I was young, that's what everybody said it was white.
That's what everybody said, exactly. They turned around and said that Adam and Eve was white. All the pictures was white. You know what I mean? And that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Adam was a black man, like me, and like this brother here, and Eve was a sister, like y'all sitting in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they don't teach that in church. You know what I'm saying? And the answer to why and who did it is even in the Bible as well. Who took and changed, you know what I'm saying, the prophets and everything, the description of everybody in this book, all the way from Moses to Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, what color was Moses?
Black.
He was who?
He was black, wasn't he?
You right, but what answer would you say off what you know? He was white, exactly. You know, so you learning now that he's black. You understand? But he was taught, like when you look at all of the Moses movie, you know what I'm saying, the cartoons and all, it's white man. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's not true. You know what I mean? But we won't go over this story. You understand? This is what they call the creation story. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is part of it. You understand? This is part of the creation story. This is after Adam and Eve was created, and then this is when they turned around. Like you said, was it some fruit, or was it an apple, or was it not fruit at all? So I do understand where you're coming from. That's actually a good question. Okay, so let's go ahead and start reading that out so we can break this down for us.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made.
Okay, now it says that the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. What do you think this is talking about, sis? Like a snake or something like that, right? That's not true. Okay, what you gonna learn about the Bible is the Bible is full of symbolics and metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know how I'm gonna use like singers and rappers. You know what I'm saying? For instance, how they rap, make songs, and say certain things, say one thing one way, and then say it another way. Now, how old are you?
23.
Okay, you might not know. You know Marvin Gaye song? You know any song by Marvin Gaye?
No.
Okay, well, damn. I don't know most of this hip hop stuff, this new stuff. You know? Marvin Gaye sang a song. He said, "Baby, I'm hot just like an oven. I need some loving." What was he talking about? What do those lyrics sound like he's talking about?
Somebody told me 6
Exactly. But did he say, "Girl, I want some of that vagina"? No, he said it in another way. You see what I'm saying? Rappers do the same thing. You know, we actually get it from the Lord. You understand? The Lord talks in slang and symbolically and metaphorically. You know what I mean? And that's how we talk. We got it from him. That's black all day long. You know what I mean? And that's just like if a woman calls herself a bad bitch. What is she saying about herself? Now we know the word bad means ruined and awful, and bitch means female dog. You understand? So is she saying it about herself when she said that?
No.
What is she saying about herself? That she got it going on. Exactly, right. She look good, she smell good, she got a crib, she got money, she got it going on, right? So that's like I said, that's how we talk. And you're gonna find out that the Bible's full of that. Okay, so when it's talking about the serpent, this is actually talking about a man. You understand? The serpent was the most subtle beast of the field. The Lord in the Bible has referred to men as beasts on several different occasions, several different scriptures. You understand? So when the Lord says beast, he ain't talking about, animal. You know what I'm saying? Running through the forest. You understand? Or the wilderness. Okay, in this particular instance, now, as far as when you put an animal in a certain classification, like beast, would a serpent be considered as a beast? In the beast, what would it be? Like a lizard. You know what I'm saying? The lizard category, right? So this ain't talking about an actual snake, a literal snake, okay? This is talking about a man, and a white man in particular. You're gonna find out this is the white man. Alright? Now go ahead, Doc.
And he said unto the woman.
Stop right there. He said unto the woman. Let me ask you a question. Can snakes talk?
No.
Absolutely. So how did a snake say something to a woman? He couldn't. He can't. You understand? Snakes don't have the capability. It's just like, think about it, on the other hand of the spectrum, if a snake had the capability of understanding and talking and conversing, she could have told the snake to stop or shut up, or don't, you understand? If this was an actual snake, you understand? Think about when a person gets bit by one. They could tell, like, hey, stop, don't bite me. You know what I'm saying? But it still get bit. You'll still get bit, won't you? You can't communicate with animals like that. You know what I mean? Even when the white man take the lions and try to tame them in the zoo, they still oftentimes get mauled by the lions, don't they? Because animals gonna do what an animal wants to do. You know what I mean? And this animal right here, this white man, he ended up doing what he wanted to do with his sister, which was to trick her. All right, we're gonna get that next. Go ahead, I'll read that.
Yea, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
Okay, so the serpent said, it's to the woman, he said, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Right? So, this is where the fruit thing has come up, right? To where people think that this is an actual piece of fruit. Okay? So the serpent is asking her, God say, can you eat from every tree of the garden? Keep reading out, read verse 2.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Okay, start right there for a second. The woman said unto the serpent. Picture a woman having a conversation with a snake. How well do you think that's going to go? That ain't going to go with look. Women are scared of spiders and mosquitoes. You understand what I'm saying? You let a
human. However, most
you let a bug, you understand, run across a sister. She's gonna be screaming and hollering. You understand? Let a mouse touch them feet. You know how the mice nibbling on stuff. Let them nibble on her damn feet. She's gonna go crazy. Now just think, a real live snake sitting there having a conversation. She just turned around like, oh yeah, what's up? Like she having a conversation. That's not what that is. That was taught in the Christian church, and that is a lie. You understand? This woman was having a conversation with a snake, with a slithering, slimy man, grimy person. You understand? Because like back in the day, old folks used that term snake. Well, who was they talking about? They said you was a snake in the grass. Well, what kind of person was they talking about? Yeah, exactly. You understand? That's us right here. You understand? Way back thousands of years ago, that's where we get this from right here. You understand? This is us today. We're still doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? What they call them now? You snitch on somebody. What is you?
Like a rat.
You a rat. You know what I'm saying? Is he a real rat? No, not the ones that little mice and gerbils and nothing like that. Little things that in New York. Those big ass rats in New York. God damn. I see a picture of somebody posted and said, "This is what I ran into." Big old rat like that. But is that person that snitched an actual rat? No. He's just describing that person. He's a piece of garbage. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is right here. This conversation between a woman and a man. You know what I'm saying? And the white man in particular. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? The white man is not Mr. Rogers like what we saw on TV. Like he's just such this kind and gentle and loving person. You understand? The white man is the devil, and the word devil means liar or deceiver. You know what I mean? The white man is the liar on the earth, the greatest liar to ever live. You understand? So keep reading out. So the woman turned around. She says to the serpent. She turned around and she's having a conversation with this serpent. She answering his question. Go ahead.
But of the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, God has said.
Okay, hold on. Skip back. You missed the part. And the woman said unto the serpent,
we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Okay, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Okay. Now, they still sounded like this is talking about fruit, right? It sounds like it could be, and then here's the thing. It does not ever once mention apple. You know what I mean? It just says fruit. So how you know this ain't a orange or a pomegranate or plum, a peach, you see what I'm saying? A banana, you understand? Some grapes. It's a whole bunch of fruit. You know what I mean? Watermelons, cantaloupe, what's some other thing? Honeydew melon, you know what I mean? Pineapples, it's all kind of fruit. Wild apple, you understand? The white man actually painted that picture. White people don't know and understand the Bible, you understand? So what he took And was he said, oh, snake, serpent, you know what I'm saying, garden, and turned around and said, Adam and Eve, and fruit. Okay, it was apple. You see what I'm saying? And he painted a picture of Adam and Eve, two white people sitting, in the garden, had flowers and trees all around, and had a snake hanging from the tree, and then had Adam and Eve eating the apple. You know what I'm saying? Had the snake hanging over their head. That's where we get that stuff from. You understand? The same way that Jesus is white, right? You remember the white Jesus picture? That's why black people in their minds believe that Jesus is actually white, but he's not. Christ is black too. You understand? Christ got the same blood flowing through his body, his veins as we do. You understand? We family. Christ could not be white. Look at white people. Look at all the things they do. How could Christ be white? You understand? When the white man is the greatest every damn thing in the murderer, liar, homosexual, damn child molester, predator. I mean, you can just go on and on and on. He is the wicked in the Bible. You know what I mean? And like I said, he gave us those lies about Christ being white, Adam and Eve being white, Moses being white, and Adam and Eve eating an apple. This is what he's talking about, no literal fruit. Okay, we're going to get to the bottom of what this was in 1 second. Go ahead, I'll keep reading.
But of the fruit of the tree, which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat of it.
Okay, so she say the fruit that's in the midst of the garden, right? We can eat of that. But every other tree that's around the garden, we can't touch those. You see what I'm saying? So this is where they narrowed it down to one piece of fruit. You understand how they came and said, okay, the apple was the one, right? You get it? When you go back and read, it said, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree of the midst of the garden, that God has said, ye shall not eat of it, all right? Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die, okay? Now I'm going to get some precepts. Go ahead, keep reading that. I'm going to get some precepts to show you that the trees in the garden was not talking about, apple trees and, orange and grapefruits and all that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't talking about no literal fruit. Okay? Go ahead, I'll keep reading.
Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened.
Okay, now, the serpent turned around and told the woman. The woman told her, now, the woman told her, the serpent, God said don't eat this, right? He said if we do, we're going to die. The serpent, the white man is telling the woman, said that God knows that if you eat it, your eyes is going to be open, okay? Reading a little more, I said, you shall surely not die, okay? And it said, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now I want to really break this particular part down right here, because this is something that black people need to definitely understand, to where they can, fix whatever situation that they is, whatever sin that they're doing right now. They can learn from this right here. Matter of fact, Romans 15:4 says, things written aforetime was written for our learning. We're supposed to be learning from what's in the whole Bible, actually. You understand? But definitely the Old Testament, okay? Because that's the start of everything, right in the beginning, you know what I mean? And then we're supposed to learn from the entire book, not just parts of it, right? Okay, so the serpent said, you shall surely not die, right? So the serpent is turning around and telling the woman that God don't know what he's talking about, basically, right? God told you that, you ain't gonna die. You understand? So he turned around and said that God knows that in the day that you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open. Now, let me ask you this. What did Christian church say about Adam and Eve when they was walking around?
They was naked.
They was butt naked, and what else?
And
They was covered with trees and this and that. And what else about their eyes?
They didn't know
They didn't know they was naked. Why?
I guess because
Mm-mm. Okay, so when it says their eyes was open. But when your eyes is open right now, you can what? When your eyes is closed, you can what? The Christian church was teaching that their eyes were like this. You understand? They walking around talking to each other, interacting with each other, and then their eyes is closed. They actually teach that. They teach that their eyes was closed shut completely. Like if God created you and had your eyes closed, where you get an eyeball from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go and eat some fruit, eat an apple, and your eyes all of a sudden just open and you can damn see now? It don't make sense. The stuff that they teach in the church is really idiotic. It don't even make sense. You know what I mean? Nobody was walking around at no point in time with their eyes closed completely like this. You understand? And walking around going to work and wasn't falling on every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Think about somebody blind. They can't see if they ain't got their cane and don't know how to walk with that damn thing out. What they doing? Yeah, you damn right. Good.
Right.
So like they had on the bird box, telling people, you know, in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Putting on the mask.
Exactly.
The voices that they heard. That's a Christian movie right there.
Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is. Okay, yeah. They got the people on the bird box, and if they open their eyes, they would have died. You know what I'm saying? Or turned into the monster, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Some smoke foolishness, smoke nonsense. Okay, so that's what they said. That's what the Christian church said. It was the eyes was open. Okay, and ye shall be as gods. What do a lot of black women call themselves today? Because they say they gave birth to the earth. God. They call themselves God. A lot of people say the black woman is God. That's where they get this from. You understand? They got that from the white man teaching them that you are God. You are a God. You give birth to children and this and you understand. Now they never say that the man is God. You understand? He ain't. You understand? And the woman ain't. But they never say that the children come from the damn man. You understand? The children is already alive inside of the man. So how does the woman get the credit for being the God? You understand? When the life goes into her in order to be brought forth. You see what I'm saying? It's all nonsense. It's all garbage. But that's where they get that from also. That go way back. That's ancient. You understand that the black woman is God. That is go way back to the very beginning. When this white man souped this sister. You know, they still say that up. Souped up. Yeah, nigga, you souped up. You know what I'm saying? You got soup. Alright? So this white man souped this sister up, told her, hey, your eyes will be open, you be a God. It said knowing good and evil. Now, what do you think that means where it says knowing good and evil?
Knowing right from wrong.
You right there, you close. Think of a child, okay? Knowing good and evil. How would a child know good? You teach it to them, right? Now, what is knowing evil? If a child don't do what you say, what they gonna learn? They gonna get disciplined. You understand? That's what that is right there. That's the evil part. Is the punishments that the Lord is gonna turn around and throw down on you if you sin against him, if you don't do what he said do. We were not supposed to know evil. You understand? Like for instance, the statistic is, I think it's is it 1 out of every 5 or 6 people who got diabetes? Which one? Who knows the statistic on that? Is it 1 out of every 5? Or is it? Oh no, it's 50%. I think it's 50% of so-called African Americans. We're not African Americans. We're Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But black people, I think the statistic is that half of us in America it has diabetes. Why do you think that is? That's true, but give me something else that you can think of. That right there is the first answer. That's about the one that everybody will give because, you know, they say their doctor told them, oh, you gotta take better care of yourself. You know what I mean?
All this McDonald's and all this,
Yeah. We do eat a lot of unhealthy things, but the Bible says that we would eat poison and live. You understand? So now me myself, you know, okay, let me just break it down like this. We do not keep God's dietary laws.
Right.
That's why our people are so infected with upper respiratory diseases like we have, like diabetes, high blood pressure, cancers, and you understand? What's the other one? What's the other one?
High blood pressure.
Who? High blood pressure is one of them. Cholesterol, that's another one, and all of that. You got your hand up? Go ahead.
I looked up the statistics on it.
What is it?
Reported in March of 2021, 25 million American children and adults have type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says in 2015, 30.3 million Americans, which is 9.4% of the population.
Of us? Yeah, so and we only make up 12% of the population. So more than half of us got diabetes now. You understand? And the reason being is because we eat the things that God said we should not eat.
Right.
Like pork, shrimp, crab legs, lobster, you understand? Shellfish, catfish. You know what I mean? We eat the things that God said not to eat. You know, how many back in the day, like how many niggas, you know, just love ham sandwiches and bologna sandwiches? You was one of them. Yeah, okay, you'll learn now that you heard. Yeah, ain't no more bologna sandwiches. Okay, you can get you. I know they sell beef. Little, I don't want to say bologna, but like beef lunch meat. Let's say that. Yes, I don't like saying bologna. You say bologna, that's pork. Eh? Bologna is pork. You know what I'm saying? All day long. Bologna. Okay, that is pork. Okay, they turn around, used to slice it on the ends and all that. You know what I'm saying? Put a swell up in the middle. You know what I mean? I ain't saying I ever had one, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? But no. But a lot of people turn around and love a good old ham sandwich. There are plenty of alternatives. There's turkey. You understand? It's a bunch of the catfish. They love that catfish stuff. When they know, everybody eat catfish, know that it's a bottom feeder, that the damn fish is filthy. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord created certain animals for certain things. You understand? What they call bottom feeders, they're supposed to eat the filth out of the ocean. You understand? The Lord made certain fish to keep the waters clean. You see what I'm saying? That's his own, the Lord created a cleaning system for the damn waters. You understand? Like the white man had to go, he poisoned the water, so he had to make MSD. You understand? And claim to treat the water of all the damn filth that's in it. If he wasn't dumping it in there, the waters would be clean. It would be good. You know what I'm saying? But the white man is such a greedy bastard of trying to gobble up everything on the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we coming up with. Okay? So, like I said, you got your hand up? Oh, go ahead.
I seen the article. I didn't read too much into it, but it was a turtle had herpes.
You said who?
A turtle had herpes.
A turtle?
Had herpes.
Well, you know, white people have sex with animals, so I mean, ain't no telling. You understand? White people sleep with dogs. They love dogs, don't they? God damn, you right. That's their damn best friend, boy. What they say, man's best friend. It was a video. I mean, an article that came out. There's a white man and a white woman that both sexually abused a damn dog. One of them, the man had sex with the dog, sexually abused, raped this damn puppy until it died. You understand? I said, God damn, white people are disgusting. You know what I mean? They are evil and extremely disgusting. Okay, so yeah, knowing good and evil is just that. What we were supposed to know was good only, right? It's just like, for instance, your kids, you love them, right? You don't want to whoop your kids. You want them to do what mommy say, right? And that way everything will be fine, right? In a sense, that's how God wanted us to do. God gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments. He wanted us to follow them like good little children so that everything will be fine with us. But since we refuse to obey, now we got all these problems. You understand? We got all these issues. We got high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes. You know what I mean? We got all this. Why? Because we turn around and we do not eat. And aside, we don't eat the way we're supposed to. Sidebar real quick. I went over my aunt's house the other day, and she turned around and asked me did I want something to eat, right? And she had some greens in the pot. I love greens, you know? She turned around and she said, it's turkey in there, ain't no pork. You know what I mean? I said, you sure? She's like, no, I'm sure, I got you, man. No pork, 'cause she know I don't eat no pork, right? So her husband say, well, wait a minute, you don't eat pork? He said, boy, one day I'm gonna convince you, you know, to talk about his wife, right? And as soon as he walked in the other room, he ain't gonna convince me of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna eat what I wanna eat. And she's sick as a dog. She takes, I wanna say, over 30 something pills a day. You know what I'm saying? Because all the different things that's wrong with her. You know what I mean? And I guess her husband was trying to, you know, talk to her and get through to her, but she just won't listen. She was like, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. I've been like that, I've been doing that, and I'm gonna keep doing that. That's what she said. Okay? So when she turned around and gets sick, what do Christians do when they get sick? They start praying to God. And you're gonna find out, in this class, God is the one that made you sick.
Right.
You understand? The Lord gave you diabetes or whatever, turn around and upper respiratory infection you got. You know what I'm saying? Because you're disobedient. Okay? And we're gonna go over that too. But go ahead and read a little more on that. Read verse 6 for me.
Okay, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
Oh, okay, hold on 1 second. Stop right there. Okay, when the woman saw that the tree was good for food. Okay, keep reading. Pay attention to this message.
And that it was pleasant to the eye.
And that it was pleasant to the eye. Okay.
And a tree to be desired to make one wise.
Okay, now stop right there. So the woman is turning around now. In the white man's mind, Eve is in the garden, you know, with a bunch of plants and flowers and trees everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Pine trees, oaks, and all this, right? And apple trees, and you know what I'm saying? All that in the garden. She's looking at this one particular tree that the serpent said, oh, this is good, you can eat this. And she's just looking at the tree like, ooh, yeah. You understand? Like, desire in this tree, it says, a tree to be desired to make one wise. Okay, who in here love fruit? Yeah, everybody, you understand? I love it, right? Apples, oh my God, Granny Smith, man, them good green ones, you understand? Try them bad boys up, right? Let me ask you this. If you take a child, right, put him in a room and just give him a big basket full of apples, is he gonna get smart? Is he gonna get wise? No. He gonna be dumb as hell. If you think that eating a piece of fruit is what's gonna make him smart, you understand? That's not it. All right. No fruit is gonna make anybody smart. It'll make your body run a little better. You understand? Your insides. You know, it has nutrients and things like that. It's necessary to have fruit. You understand? It has its nutrients, but it's not gonna turn around and make you pass the test when you go. You know what I'm saying? And you go take a damn math test and you're gonna eat about 5 apples and you're gonna get A+. You understand? They'll make you wise. That's not it. They ain't talking about that. This is talking about knowing good and evil and knowing, okay, the punishments, the evil, the punishments from breaking the law. That's what that is. The good is the law and the evil is the punishments of the law. And so if the person, the serpent said, you eat this fruit, you do this, then you're no good and evil. You see what I'm saying? So you'll turn around and it's just like, okay, like a lot of brothers that sleep with whores know what it's like to be with a whore, right? Get her pregnant, what happens? In most cases, they leave, they get her pregnant, they gotta deal with a old ratchet baby mama. You know what I'm saying? See, we know what it's like to be with a whore. You understand? Same with a woman. You turn around and get you a bad boy. What they say? Good girls like bad boys.
God.
You get you a bad boy, you know what it's like to be with a bad boy. Bad boy probably bust you upside your head. You know what I'm saying? Bad boy probably selling drugs, stash it in your Section 8 apartment, make you lose it. You understand? What else can happen from being with a bad boy? Yeah, that too. You understand? That was the TV show, What My Man. Turn around and have to kill somebody for that day. You know what I mean? So we know the good and the evil. You see what I'm saying? That's what the serpent said to Eve. That's what you will know. So now she's sitting there thinking about what he done told her, and she like, oh man, this is it. Okay? Keep reading now.
She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Okay? Now, stop right there. So, she turned around and said, okay, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then she took of the fruit and ate and gave her husband also that was with her. Okay, and he ate. All right? Now, the effect, let's see what happened after this. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Okay, now, what Christians in the church believe is like you said. You was dead on when they said, yeah, they took and sewed leaves around. They said they saw that they was naked. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Adam and Eve, that's his woman, right? And then his eyes open. Oh my God, put some clothes on. You see what I'm saying? Think about that. Her eyes open. She like, oh, why you walking around like that? You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what happened. Okay. And real quick, cut to Ezekiel 31, and I think we're gonna start at verse 3. Go to Ezekiel 31. While the brother getting that scripture. New caller, neighbor, where you calling from?
Oh, this is Christy. I'm calling from Memphis, Tennessee. My laptop is low, so I can't hardly hear it. So I'm calling to listen.
Oh, okay, no sweat. Shalom. Yahweh Shmuel, I thought about you ever shot.
You said what?
I just saluted you. Okay, we got
Okay.
Okay, I turned the volume up. I think somebody did say it was low. I just turned it up, so Lord will. It's a little.
I don't know what happened was I went out and then I went. At first it was loud, then I came out to do something, came back to turn it back on. It was low. I said, "Wow."
Oh, okay. Okay, no sweat.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Go ahead. Give me that. Okay, hold on. Matter of fact, let's cut to this real quick. Go to no. Hold that scripture real quick, and we're gonna cut to. We're gonna go to. Hold on. I think it's in Isaiah. Is that precept on precept? That's Isaiah. So hold y'all spot in Ezekiel. Give me Isaiah. 28 and 9. Isaiah 28 and 9. What is that? You tell me what scripture was? Okay. Next time I say Salaki, raise your hand.
Isaiah 28, verse 9. Who shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Okay, now, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? This is talking about the Bible, about understanding the Bible, okay? Keep going.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Okay, now, those that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast are those that's going to turn around and understand these scriptures. What this is like, okay, like picture a baby, right? Babies need milk, right? They can only either get their mother's breast milk, or they have to get them, you know, if the mother doesn't produce enough, then they have to go get them some formulas somewhere, right? A baby ain't ready for solid food, okay? So you gotta turn around and be a big boy or a big girl, start getting that solid food, right? Because at certain stages you give them the milk, And then when they get a little older, they start, sometimes they mash their food up, puree it or something, get the little baby food in the jars. And then sometimes I seen mothers, that used to happen to me. My mother would sit and chew up some meat and then put it in my mouth, make me eat it, and I'll tear that chewed up meat up, you understand? And turn around and ate. I'm telling you, that meat was good coming out of my mama's mouth. I remember her doing that. I seen her do it to my brother. So I know she did it to me, okay? So she turned around and it stayed, right? And once you get old enough, you're on solid food and you gone. You know what I'm saying? This is another metaphor, okay? So in order to understand these scriptures, you got to do this next line right here. In order to understand what's in the Bible, this is how you understand it. Go ahead, I'll give you that.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, very little and very little.
Okay, what is a precept? What's a precept, sis? What does precept mean? You don't know? Okay, no sweat. Precept is like a rule that controls a thought, right? Like a focused idea, okay? So what you do is, the Bible has all the answers for everything, okay? Adam and Eve, the story, it's in the Bible. All the precepts are in the Bible, right? So a precept is another scripture that will support another scripture, right? So you turn around and you say, Adam and Eve, was these trees and was these fruit and this and that. So there's another scripture in the Bible that will that will explain the scripture that you have in question, right? So the Adam and Eve story about eating of the, was it an apple, was it a fruit, or was it not fruit at all? Okay, now we're finna go to back to Ezekiel 31, okay, in verse 3. Because precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, okay? The Bible is not put together like most books that you buy off of a shelf, right? To where you have the beginning, you have the middle and the plot, you understand, and then you have the end, to where it all goes in sequence. You see what I'm saying? The Bible ain't like that. You could turn around a precept for something that's in the beginning of the book could be all the way at the back. You know what I'm saying? Or something that's in the middle could be at the front. You see what I'm saying? It's all over the place. Here a little, there a little. You understand? It's all over. Okay, and that's why Christians really don't understand the Bible, because they don't know precepts. They don't even read it. They don't even study it at all. You understand? So how can they know? All right. So in order to understand what we read so far in Genesis, now we're gonna understand it by pulling a precept, another scripture to support it. Okay, go ahead. I'll read.
Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 3. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches.
Okay, stop right there. It says Assyrian. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. What's a cedar? What's a cedar? Is a what? Go ahead.
A tree.
A tree. A cedar tree. Right? A cedar is a tree. Who is the Assyrian? It says, behold, the Assyrian. What's an Assyrian? That's a race of people. And it will be white people. The white people are the Assyrians. Right? This is their name in the Bible. You understand? There are many different I ain't gonna say nationalities. It's only one race of them, the Edomites, but they got several different what you wanna say? You know, they say like cousins and all that, you know what I'm saying, relatives, things like that. They got different families, different names under, you know what I'm saying, how, okay, like say for instance, your name is what, your last name is what it is, right? But you got people in y'all family, but they got another name, right? Just like that, real simple. Okay, so the Assyrian, the white man, was as a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. What does a fair mean? Fair. Think of fair. You say a fair lady. What does that mean? She's a fair. That's an old term. A fair lady. What does that mean? Close. What is it? Fair. Think of fair. Oh, she's a fair lady. Somebody give it to me. Fair. What does fair mean?
Fair.
Go ahead. Hold on one second. Go ahead, Go ahead, Joe.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay. This tree, okay, had fair branches, okay? The Assyrian, you understand, was as a cedar, as a tree in Lebanon with fair branches, okay? Keep on.
And with a shadowing shrub,
Mm-hmm.
and of an high stature,
Mm-hmm.
and his top was among the thick boughs.
Okay, so with shadowing shrub, meaning he covered, you understand, the other tree, okay? And of high stature, meaning high stature means like status, you up there, you know what I mean? And it says, and his top was among the thigh bows, all right? Now read forward.
The waters made him great.
The waters made him great. This right here is a metaphor also. What does a water do? What does water do for a tree? Make it grow, right? You understand? So the waters was feeding this tree and made it big, right? Made it great. Keep going.
The deep set him up on high with her rivers running around about his plants.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field.
Okay, so this is saying like this one tree was feeding all the other trees, right? Think of the white man right now. You understand? Everybody come to him to get everything that they need in the earth, right? White man turn around and come to your country, bomb you, kill you, rape you, you understand, do all that to you, and then make a deal with you in order for you to come. All the resources he stole from you now and claimed as his, now you gotta come to him to get it. You see what I'm saying? So the white man turn around and he's feeding, like for instance, how the white man takes and does his deals with different countries. You know what I'm saying? He has all the resources here, but he's so damn greedy. You know what I'm saying? He wants to own everything. The white man wants to take total control over all the earth. So he's turning around and feeding the other trees, right? And these trees represent people. This ain't talking about no, exactly. That's the cedar in Lebanon. Keep going.
Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field.
All the trees of the what?
Of the field.
All the trees of the field, right? It's talking about that garden, okay? Now, the trees in the garden represented what? Represented people, okay? The other nations of people. Like you have other nations of people right now, right? You got the Africans, you got the Arabs, you got the East Indians, you got all of them, and you got us. You understand? You got blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we the Israelites. What happened in the garden was Adam and Eve was not supposed to live the way the other nations of people live, right? And I can show you that as well, because the Lord has he created laws that gave us morals, and what our morals and our standards, you understand, and our code of conduct and all of that, right? Like no other nation of people even has them. Okay, they do whatever they want to do. They eat what they want to eat. You understand? Matter of fact, that's what when the Lord, when Adam was naming everything, and you know what I'm saying, how he knew what to eat and all of that, not what to eat. The Lord used constellations, meaning the signs in heaven, like stars, and you understand, different things to communicate with Adam before this was written on paper, right? And Adam knew that certain signs in the heavens meant something. You know what I'm saying? And he know, okay, that means, oh, don't touch that, right? I ain't supposed to eat this, I ain't supposed to eat that. So Adam had the laws, you understand? The Lord communicated with him through the constellations in the sky, through the stars, you understand? And the signs in heaven, all right? And he passed that down to his descendants, okay? And so to the point to where the only somebody that followed it was Noah, right? And you know the story about Noah and the flood? Yeah, the ark, okay. That right there was one of Adam's descendants, okay? I think that was Adam's great grandson, okay? And he had taught all of his people. This is like, for instance, you had a grandfather, right? Did he ever sit you down and talk to you, tell you old stories and things? He never did nothing like that. Have you ever witnessed that? You know, witnessed it by nobody? Oh, okay, no sweat. You ever seen it on a movie? Yeah. Okay, you've seen it on a movie. That's what Adam did. Okay, Adam set his family down, told them, okay, this is what God expects of us, right? This is how we gonna live, right? Some listen, One listened, the rest did not. All right, and then we end up with Noah. Okay, the trees right here is the other nations of people, right? And we was not supposed to live like them and get down with like them and see how they live and say, "Ooh, wait, oh man, I want to do that." You know what I mean? We wasn't supposed to do that. We were supposed to live the way that the Lord told. Like for instance, interracial marriage. What's your take on that? What did the church ever tell you about that? Yeah, but a white man dating a black woman, or a black man dating a white. They say it's okay. Right? Why they say it's okay? Huh? They just say you can't help who you love, right? That's a lie. The Lord said we not supposed to interracially date or marry or sex or none of that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's in the Bible. Oh yeah. Yeah, what? Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's a whole bunch of laws in here that black people have not been living by. I'll go with another. What homosexuality? What about that? Homosexuality and lesbianism. What's the white man's and the Christian, the black Christian church? What is the black Christian church and the white man's take on that? They say it's okay, right? What does the white man say about it? He love it. He says it's a what? He says it's an alternative lifestyle, right? God said that's a death sentence. You understand? Right. A man ain't supposed to be with no man. A woman ain't supposed to be with no woman. It's in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? And we can pull all the precepts to show you that is a sin according to the Lord. And the Lord will kill you and put you to death for that. Right? Go ahead. Multiple wives? Okay, that is not unlawful. Okay, that's in the Bible as well. God said that a man can have more than one woman if he chooses to. God gave man a choice. It's not a must, right? A man does not have to have 5 wives, 10 wives. You know what I'm saying? 2 wives. He doesn't have to do that. But if he chooses to, that is his God-given right. That's his choice. Right. You understand? It's in the Bible. With those precepts too. You understand? All the stuff that I'm naming, we can break all of that down. Okay? And these trees was represent the other nations of people. That's what trees were. All right? Not no doggone fruit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And definitely wasn't no apple. You understand? And then if the fruit was forbidden then, why are we eating it today? You understand? Why do they sell apples out of the wazoo at every damn grocery store? Right. You understand? They got where you can buy 1 or 2 of them. You can get 1 or 2 if you want. They got a bag with 8, 9, or 10 of them in there. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Why? You can buy them in slices. You know, so you can buy them in syrup in little cups. You know what I'm saying? You can buy apple. Matter of fact, you go to McDonald's and get you some apple slices. What's it? Slices in the little glaze. You can go get you some apples down there anywhere. Why do they sell that if that fruit was forbidden? Why are people eating them then? You understand? If they claim that Adam and Eve did a wrong thing by eating an apple, why are we eating apples? You see what I'm saying? We shouldn't be eating no apples, right? This is what I'm talking about. This was talking about serving another God. Okay? God gave Adam and Eve they rules, they laws, they wrote code of conduct. And the other nations of people was left round about, like the Bible say, to prove us, okay? To see if we were going to obey the Lord, or if we would turn around and do the other nations of people and see what they want to do. Matter of fact, I'll pull that for you real quick. Give me in the Apocrypha. Is that Baruch? I think it's Baruch. It might be Baruch 3. Hold on 1 second. See, this thing is it's either Baruch or Esdras. Let me see something. Okay, hold on 1 second. I think I found it. 'Cause, 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 'c 6. Baruch 6 and start at 1 and read down a couple of them.
Baruch 6 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the sins which ye have committed before God,
Mm-hmm.
ye shall be led away captive into Babylon
Mm-hmm.
by Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians.
Okay, you know who the Babylonians was, sis? Okay, the Babylonians is the African, right? We turn around because Scripture says because of our sins, right? You know what sin is?
Something bad.
It's something bad, but you need a little more if you can. It's a little more something. It's bad. It's definitely bad. Sin is definitely bad. Huh? Now we won't bring that definition on home because that's what. Okay, that right there. When the church teaches that sin is bad, that's kind of just leaves it more broad, more open. You know what I mean? We want to narrow that thing down. You understand? Go ahead, Ashana. The transgression of the law. What does it mean to transgress the law? Go ahead. To break God's laws. That's what that is. That's what a sin is. The breaking of God's laws. Okay? And that's in is that Timothy? What's that? Timothy 4 and 3? We'll pull it in a second. But because of our sins, which we have committed before God, you shall be led away captive, right? The Israelites, we were led into captivity, you understand, multiple times. You know what I mean? Because of our disobedience, because we disobeyed the Lord. Lord said that we were going to go into slavery time and time again, right? Right now, are we free or are we slaves? We slaves, absolutely. You understand? We slaves, we in captivity right now for our disobedience. We continue to break God's laws, right? Now, the thing about now is that we have this religion, this Christian church, that is teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that you don't have to keep God's laws, which that don't even make sense. You understand? Now you tell a person that God is your father, he's the creator of all, and you got to serve him and do all this and love him and all that, right? But then you don't have to do what he tells you to do. Do that make sense? No, that's stupid. You understand? That's idiocracy, okay? To turn around and say that this is the creator of all life, heaven and earth, whatever they preach in the church, you know what I mean? And then say, oh, you ain't got to listen to him, you ain't got to keep his laws. That's done away with. That's what they say. And that's not true. You know what I mean? This is why black people are suffering today, because we sinned against the Lord. So at this point, this is talking about us being led into the Babylonian captivity, to where we was in captivity under those Babylonians, right? Keep going on.
Verse 3, so when ye be come unto Babylon, ye shall remain there many years, and for a long season, namely 7 generations. And after that, I will bring you away peaceably from them.
Okay, so the Lord said, you're going to go serve slavery, and then I'm going to bring you out of that peacefully. You know what I'm saying? Bring you out of that captivity. Go ahead, keep reading.
Now shall you see in Babylon gods of silver.
You shall see what?
Gods of silver.
Okay, now when we get there, the Lord is saying, when you get to Babylon, you're going to see gods of silver. Okay, people had turned around and was making their own gods, things that they worship. You understand? Of gold, silver, things like that. Keep reading now.
And of gold.
And of gold. Keep going.
And of wood.
And of wood. Keep going.
Born upon shoulders.
Okay, when they say born upon shoulders, who do you know? You got to kind of think back kind of a little. Oh, it's up to date too. But somebody born upon shoulders. Who knows what that is? God's born upon shoulders. Think anybody seen any karate movies? Any Chinese movies? Okay. What are they doing before they fight? And most times before they fight, what do?
They bow.
Yeah, they bow, but they doing something first. They all come out and get ready to fight. What are they doing when they come out? What are they doing? They usually got their God on their shoulders. You ever seen them walking them different things on their shoulders?
God.
You ever seen that? I go another one. The Catholics do it. The Catholics have Mary sitting up on a little seat, you know what I'm saying? Had a statue, that's their God, right? And they walking her down the aisle of the church. They've done this several different times. You know what I'm saying? When you get there, you're going to see gods of silver and of gold and of wood made out of all types of things, right? And then borne upon shoulders. You're going to see people carrying them around, right? Keep on.
And which caused the nations to fear.
And they can turn around and they say, the people that walking around say, this is God right here. This is the Dalai Lama. This is, give me some more of them. This is Amun Ra. This is, you know what I'm saying? Who else?
Buddha.
This is Buddha, right? Big old fat skull. How you get that big old fat thing on your shoulder, right? Big fat bald-headed damn thing. You know what I'm saying? They got that on the shoulder. This is the God Buddha, right? They walking around with him on his shoulders, okay? And so the other nations of people fear. They thinking that that's their God. The other nations of people believe in voodoo and spookism anyway. You understand? Us, that ain't never been our thing. Black cats walking across your path, and all that come from other nations of people, right? So them having their gods made of gold and silver and wood and carrying them around on their shoulder, that will make the other nations of people fear, make them scared. Okay, keep on.
Verse 5, beware therefore that ye in no wise be like to strangers.
Okay, it says, beware therefore that ye in no wise, meaning in no way, be like the strangers. The other nations of people are strangers to us. You understand? We're not supposed to be, you know how they claim that U City, they're trying to make it a multicultural and diverse community, right? The only somebody they don't want up there is black people. We the only somebody that they don't want up there in that diversity. You understand? Yeah. But everybody else, they all together. The Chinese is up there, the Africans is up there, the Russians is up there, the Italians is up there, the white man is up there, the Chinese is up there. Everybody up. Matter of fact, they go right there to the college. You know what I mean? What's that over there, Sloop? Wash U. Yeah, they go to Wash U. You understand? They right there at the damn college. All of them. You know what I mean? And they right next to, right down the street in the busiest strip in the world. Damn, used to be, I don't know if it still is, but it was the busiest damn business district in the United States. You know what I mean? And they got all the cultures in there. They live around there, they shop around there, they eat around there. This is all week. You know what I mean? So the strangers, we're not supposed to be like them. You understand? And see these strange gods. See, you understand? And then be scared of them. You understand? Because we know that a false god is nothing. There is nothing but one God. You understand? There's only one God. We supposed to fear him.
Right.
Not no damn, gold statue. You know what I'm saying? Or no gold cross or no, you know what I mean? Whatever kind of God you made up. You know, what was it? The Ankh. What dude, big dude had it who came in up? He had the Ankh about big as his damn chest. You know what I'm saying? To let you know, boy, he is the real Egyptian, ain't he? He is the Commission, okay? And ain't Commission at all. You understand? But go ahead, let's finish reading that. Read a little more.
When you see the multitude before them and behind them worshiping
Skip the part.
Sloppy, sir.
That's right.
Neither be ye afraid of them.
Neither be afraid of them. What are we afraid of, these false gods for? You understand? Like, for instance, black people in the Christian church fear the hell out of that white Jesus. You understand? They scared to disobey white Jesus, but when it comes to God and his laws, they, man, look, them laws are done away with. You understand? That was back in the Bible. That's what they say. They claim to believe in God, but the Bible is the word of God, but then, that was back in the Bible days. We don't live like that no more. You understand? These days ain't no different than those days.
Right.
Okay? All these days, every damn day is the same. We're supposed to be keeping God's laws until you die. All right? Keep going.
when you see the multitude before them and behind them, worshiping them.
Okay, don't be afraid of them when you see them people bow down and worship them damn things. Don't you be afraid of it. Don't you do the same damn thing. Don't you worship their gods. White Jesus and that cross, that's the white man's God.
Right.
Let him go to church and worship white Jesus all day if he wants to. That's his God. You understand? Buddha. Let them people, the Chinaman, let the Chinaman have Buddha. Okay? Let him worship big fat sloppy Buddha if that's what he want to do. Okay? The Egyptians, you understand, and Amun Ra and all that nonsense. If they want to worship Amun Ra, let them worship Amun Ra. That's their God. They can have it. You understand? But we not supposed to do that, worship them, follow them, and be scared of their gods. Keep going.
Verse 6. But say ye in your hearts, O Lord, we must worship thee.
We must worship who?
O Lord, we must worship thee.
We must worship thee. You understand? There's only one God. And that's the one that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are supposed to worship. Okay? Just because you have a lot of people and a lot of gods all around you. You understand? The same way, like for instance, they teach that Adam and Eve was the first two people ever on the planet, right? That's not true. Because in Ezekiel, we just read that the Assyrian was as the cedar in Lebanon. You understand? He was the damn tree, big tree, fire, branches, all that. He had it going on. You understand? And how is it that is another tree of the Assyrian if there were only Adam and Eve in the garden? That's because that's not true. It was millions of people probably. You understand? On the earth that time. It was a lot of people, the same way it is right now today. You see what I'm saying? And this is a part where we turn around and just because you are around those people, that you're not supposed to do what they do.
Right.
You understand? When we do that, we sin against the Lord. The Bible says that God is a what? Go ahead. Jealous. Everybody know that line from going to church. The Christians say that so much, but then you worshiping another God, you're gonna make him jealous. You understand? By worshiping another God. Okay? If I was the creator of all my kids and they worship the damn mailman, I would turn around and be mad as hell. What the hell you mean the mailman is such a great guy? Is that your daddy? Paternity court? It is. Now hey, give me back all my child support money. You understand? Straight up. I'm going crazy over that piece. Okay? But the Lord, he created us. We are his creation. We are supposed to do what he said do without question. You understand? And here we go in Babylon with all the other nations of people and all these different gods. And the Lord said for us not to fear, not to worship them, and say in our hearts that we must worship thee. Okay? Keep going.
Verse 7. For mine angel is with you, and I myself caring for your soul.
Okay, so all we would have had to worry about is just doing what the Lord said to do. Okay? Had we never had turned around and sinned against the Lord by worshiping and serving other God, that's what happened in the garden. Go back to Genesis. Go back to Genesis 3. Okay, and real quick, when it says that they realized that they was naked, what that meant is that they realized that they had took off our culture that God gave us, and we put on the culture of another people. You understand? That we turn around and we was without our culture. So then now we like, damn, we gotta cover ourselves in something. So instead of us staying in what God gave us, we turn around and start in a metaphorical way, like wearing all the other nations of people wearing their culture. You see what I'm saying? Meaning doing the things that they do. Okay, that's what that means. All right, go ahead, Doc.
Verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden.
Okay. Now, read, keep on.
And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself.
Okay, so he's trying to hide from the Lord, right? Now, in Ezekiel 31 and 8, I'm going to read it. It says, the cedars in the garden of God. What's the garden of God? What's the garden of God in the Bible?
The Lord of God in the Bible
Yeah.
is,
Who knows? No sweat. Who knows? That's all right. You don't know, you know.
Earth.
You're going to learn, huh? Hold on 1 second, Sean. You said what up?
Sloppy.
The garden of God. And you got to be right here in class. What General Hyman say all the time. You got to be right here tonight in class. We just went over it. What is the garden of God? Go ahead, Sean. Give it to me.
Is it the earth?
No.
Sloppy.
Go ahead.
Our homeland.
Okay. Think what we read tonight. Where was Adam and Eve at? Go ahead. The hand. What is it? It's in Genesis. No. Where was Adam and Eve placed at? Go ahead. That hand. Huh? The Garden of Eden. That's the Garden of God. You understand? That's the Garden of God. The Garden of Eden. He put Adam and Eve and placed them in the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of God. This is the precept for the garden. You understand? That's the story we read about Adam and Eve in the garden. It says the cedars in the garden of God could not hide him. It says the first trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. Okay? Now again, this is talking about the other nations of people and how they were in the garden. You understand as well. And in verse 9 it says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden, do you see that? Do you see that in Ezekiel? Yeah, Ezekiel 31 and verse 9. You see it? It says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him. What does it mean to envy something or someone? Go ahead.
To like be jealous of them?
Okay, so you think a tree is jealous of another tree? Nigga, you got all them branches over there, nigga, I ain't fooling with you, man. You know what I'm saying? This one tree get 30 feet tall, the other one only 10. Nigga, you all tall, you know what I'm saying? Big old branches and that covering up everything. Got a lot of shade for people, and I ain't got that much. Do you think a tree is envying another tree? Or do people envy other people? People envy other people. This is a metaphor. You understand? The trees in the garden represent people. All right? And them trees in the garden represent the other nations. And the Lord said that we not supposed to serve other gods and live like them. You understand? So the Garden of Eden, all the trees in the Garden of Eden that were in the Garden of God envy him. Okay? So I think you pretty much get the point on that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you get the point on that. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to Genesis. All right. Where you stopping at?
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Okay, go ahead a little more.
Verse 11. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked?
Mm-hmm.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Okay, keep going.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Okay, now right here, this is a lesson for men to not to be weak to your woman. Okay, the Lord taught Adam his laws, and Adam taught his woman. Right? We read the story. That's how the Bible never says that the Lord sat and had a conversation with Eve and sat her in a classroom and taught her all his laws. She learned from her husband. The Bible says that if a woman was to learn anything, let her ask her husband at home. All right? So she won't learn this Bible. She's supposed to ask her husband. You understand? Her husband will teach her, and that's how she was able to answer the questions, right? For the serpent, because her husband taught her. You know what I'm saying? Her husband told her. Like for instance, think about some men and some women today, right? Some sisters have a problem with when they man say, look, don't go out dressed like that, right? Your man is teaching you, number one, you his possession, right? That man is teaching you to, say, he's number one concerned about mainly your safety when you out there. Somebody else see you, want some of what you got, you understand what you working, want to put his hand up in there. If you ever been to the club, and the brothers turn around, I done been in the club before, and a sister, thick sister walk past, and everybody got their hand out on their butt squeak. You understand? I done seen it before in the club. Okay? I don't know if y'all ever been and witnessed that, but have you ever seen that out?
Wow.
Yes, sir. I know working at that club, boy, you see a lot worse than that, didn't you? You understand? The bar dude was doing, you still do that? Still? There was security up in the bar. And good night. I can just imagine what he saw going on up there. Alright? So like I said, but usually the man is telling you something, you know what I'm saying, so that you'll be safe. Okay? And like most women, like this sister, she didn't listen to her man. She wanted to have power over her man. You understand? When the Lord set things up a certain way, like he created a man and a woman and a family in order for that family to function properly, it has to do what the Lord said to do in order to be a successful family, right? You could try to do any other thing that you want to do, you understand, but if you're not living according to these laws, your family is going to fail. It's going to fail. You know what I mean? Your children are not going to grow up and be, basketball players, football players, singers, dancers, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be successful at all. They're going to work at White House.
Right.
You understand? They're going to work at Church's Chicken. They're not going to go to college. You understand? They're going to go to college, get a grant, and then don't finish. You understand? They're going to owe the government millions of dollars. That shit turned from 5,000 to about 75,000 in a minute. You know what I mean? They stack that interest, boy, that compound interest and all that on there every day you don't pay. You know what I mean? The white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of. Right. I'm not saying you can't go to college or don't go to school. There's nothing wrong with it. But just saying, if you want to be successful, you gotta keep God's law. You see what I'm saying? And that's why black people are failing right now. Would you agree? That God is not with black people, man. Look at the things that we do. You understand? We are disobedient as hell. And matter of fact, let's get on that. Let's get on the laws now, okay? Let's get on some of these laws, man. Whether we should keep God's laws or not. Because what have you heard as far as the law, keeping God's laws in the Christian church? What have you heard of that? Huh? You say you don't hear too much? You sleep in church? You just don't go? Okay. But the times you have gone, have you ever heard him mention the law? The Ten Commandments. What do they say about it? You're supposed to lie, you're supposed to steal. Okay. Do preachers lie? Yeah, absolutely. You understand? Do they steal? Hell yeah, they steal it from their members every Sunday, every what other day they have where they collecting money? Choir rehearsals and Wednesdays,
Right.
new saints classes and days and family and friends day and you know what I mean, pastor anniversary and oh man, they steal it every day. You understand? But that's one of the commandments. You're not supposed to steal. You understand? But they doing it every day. They don't keep none of the laws. All right. The first law is that you're supposed to love God with all thy heart, thy mind, and thy soul. You're supposed to give God your everything, not make excuses and say, well, you know, God know my heart. You understand? That's garbage. Okay, God do know your heart, and He know that you is a wicked bastard. You understand? And He's going to punish you for your wickedness. All right, but go to Matthew 5:17. We're gonna go straight to Christ and what He said about God's law. Okay, because the Christian church say that Christ died for you, and so that you don't have to keep God's laws anymore. Okay, and that is a lie. You understand? That is a complete damn lie. You do have to keep God's laws. Alright? And that's fine. We're gonna since the Christian church like to say that Christ died so that you don't have to keep the law no more, let's see what Christ had to say about the law, about God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's see what He had to say about their laws. And we're gonna see if Christ said to keep them or not. Go ahead,
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Oh, what did Christ say?
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Don't even think about it. Right? Think not that I am come to destroy the law. What does that not mean? Don't think that I am coming to destroy the law. And what did the Christian church say? You don't have to keep the laws. You said they told you you're supposed to keep the 10 Commandments, but they don't even know what that is. 10 Commandments is the foundation for all of the laws. You understand? It's not just 10 Commandments, it's over 600. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. And you're going to find out what those 600 is in this class, in this school. And you're going to learn to keep them all. And it's not hard at all. It's in the Bible. Let me show you. Go ahead, Jim. I think that's the number, 613. I believe that is the number. 613. Yep. Okay, so Christ said, think not that I have come to destroy the law. Keep going.
Or the prophets.
Or the prophets. Okay, the prophets, who are the prophets? Other people, but who? Maybe. Christ is talking about the prophets. Who are the prophets in the Bible? Moses, Joshua, Daniel, there you go. Okay? So Christ said, think not that I'm come to destroy the law, right? Or the Old Testament, you understand? Or the Apocrypha. Okay? All the prophets that the Lord used to put this on paper, he ain't destroyed none of their work, nothing that they wrote down, nothing that they said, nothing that they did, he ain't destroyed them. Keep going.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He said, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. What does the word fulfill mean, he said? Okay? It means to do. Christ kept the laws too. You understand? He didn't come to do away with them. God's laws are perfect. Okay, the Bible says that they're perfect. We learned that by coming in the truth. By us being in the world first, knowing what it's like to be on the other side, but then to come in here, keeping God's laws is perfect. You understand? It is perfect. Keep these laws. I'm telling you. It'll be the best thing that a black, Hispanic, Native Indian man or woman or child ever did in their life. You understand? This is the number one and first and foremost and only thing we're supposed to be doing. Okay? Is keeping God's laws. And that's in the Bible as well. And I can read that to you. But go ahead, read, is that it on that? Read 18.
Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass,
Okay.
one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Okay, so in heaven and earth pass, what does it mean for something to pass? To go away, yeah, be gone, dead, you know what I'm saying? Along the earth, done away with, right? So heaven and earth gone. Is heaven and earth gone?
No.
It's still earth. So one jot or one tittle, you know what a jot and a tittle is? It's a dot or an I across with a T. The one jot and one tittle shall in no wise, meaning in no way, pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Okay? Ain't none of these laws. There's no break. There was no time period where you wasn't supposed to be keeping them. You understand? There is none of that when it comes to God's law, statutes, and commandments. All right, and I'm gonna give it to you. Let me see. Go to 1 John 5:3. Yeah, that's the phone. What about that? All right. Go to 1 John 5:3, and let's see what the Bible says about God's laws.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3.
Hold on, wait till everybody got it out. One second. Everybody got it? First John 5:3. Okay, y'all, you go ahead and read.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
Stop right there. Now, you know the Christians in the church claim that they live by the New Testament, right? And they claim that that's all they teach is love, right? Every Sunday, every Monday, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and all over again on Sunday, it's love every damn day. Every sermon is love. You know what I'm saying? It's all about love. Love. Go ahead, Tajana.
I agree, because growing up in Christian church, every Sunday at closing, the man, he would have a respiratory sounding voice like, he'll never leave you alone, when it sounds like he breaking it down as if he having like an asthma attack. Being dramatic.
Exactly. That's how the preachers, all they do is just put on a good show.
Right.
Okay? Black people are paying to be entertained. Why do you think they got the music and the dancing, the singing, and you understand? You paying for a concert. That's what the tithe money is. You paying for the show that they putting on every Sunday. You know what I mean? You got that word.
Concerts a lot. Most people do tell you they only go for the music anyway.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the only reason that black people go to church. It makes them feel good for a minute. You understand? For what, an hour, 2 hours that they there? Ooh, they feel so, church was so good. Oh, girl, church was, ooh, the pastor cut up. Ooh, thank you. Ooh, Lord, I felt the spirit and all that nonsense, man. No, you didn't. You understand? You felt a black person that knew how to damn sing. Because black people know how to sing, turn around and put the chills going through your bones, right?
God.
You understand? Black people get to sing, boy. They got no voices. Man, turn around and blow the roof off the place, right? That's what got to you. It's the damn music. You understand? And then that Christian music is voodoo. You understand? It's like casting a spell on somebody.
Right.
You understand? That music, that gospel music. Just think about it. The songs play on black people's emotions, right? It's always talking about if you're feeling down and out, if you're sad, if you're going through this, going through that. And what do the people that's listening to it do? They stand up and oh yeah, get to crying, Because all of their emotions is running through them now. Because they think that the song is speaking to their heart. No, you understand? Oh, the choir cut up and they sang this good and sang that good, you know what I'm saying? And then they get to hugging themselves like they holding Jesus, and the song is talking about him holding you close, and you wrapping your arms around you doing like this, looking all silly and ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like Jesus is really hugging you. You see what I'm saying? You what they say, they married to him and all that. You're supposed to have a damn husband. You will get married, get you a man. You understand? Jesus don't want you. Okay? Jesus would not marry you, and he ain't. You understand?
That's right.
But you will turn around and deny a strong black man the right to rule over that, to claim that you will let white Jesus rule over. And then you don't even listen to white Jesus. You understand? They don't even listen to white Jesus, man. You understand? They claim to obey him, but they just do whatever the hell they want to do. You understand? Our people love that nonsense and that foolishness, man. And that's what's hurting us.
Right.
That religion, Christianity, is why our people are strung out on drugs. Like, matter of fact, for instance, we got a lecture coming up at the end of September about drugs. You understand? I can't wait to turn around and pull that one out. You understand? And why and how and all this stuff that's going on right here in the city of St. Louis behind these drugs. It's because of the religion, Christianity. The church is responsible here in St. Louis and all over America. Yes, all over the damn earth. You understand? They are responsible for all the drug use. They are responsible for all the prostitution. They are responsible for all the child molestation. They are responsible for all the murders and all of that. You understand? It's time for us to point the finger at the damn person that's to blame for all of the problems in the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. And it's that damn Christian church. You understand? Because they teach you don't have to keep no laws. Right? Go ahead, yes, ma'am. Okay, but what does that mean?
Like, well, I got out of it, like, no matter if you was just prostitute down the street, or
Mm-hmm.
you was just getting high on a bus stop, or if you gay, or
Mm-hmm.
homosexual, or whatever you are, just come as you are.
Just come as you are. Okay. Now let me ask you this. How many people do you know that come gay, prostitute, drug addicts, and change? They don't change. Point.
Right.
Shalom. You understand? That's the point right there. You can come as you are. You understand? If you are on drugs, you can get in this school and get off of them drugs. You understand? Because before we was in the Christian church or out in the world, you did not know that you were supposed to keep God's laws. God got laws against drug use. You understand? The Lord said that a drug dealer is supposed to be put to death. That's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. Drug dealers are supposed to be put to death. Alright? Now, he got laws against homosexuality, lesbianism. The Christian church, the white man, turn around and say, you can do whatever you want. It's an alternative lifestyle. You can choose to be whatever gender you want. You understand? You can choose to sleep with whoever you want to. It's your choice, right? No, God already made a choice for you. And he said, for a man to sleep with a woman if he wants to have sex, and a woman to sleep with a man if she wants to have sex. Not the same sex. And not no freaky mess, no menage a trois sex, no orgy sex, and none of that. You understand? No taking turns sex, running train on the same woman and all that. We not supposed to be doing that. That's God. God got laws against that. You understand? But they not teaching that in the church. Come as you are. If you are a crackhead, a weed head, a boy head, a pill head, come as you are. You can come, but you're supposed to come as you are, but you're not supposed to stay as you are.
That's right.
You understand? You're supposed to change when you come, but the Christian church is not even set up and designed to help you change. Because they tell you when you're there, you're a sinner and you can't help yourself. You're just going to live your life as a sinner and God is going to love you. And that is a lie. You understand? When you come into the truth, that's the first thing that you're going to focus on is changing, becoming a total brand new person, man or a woman. You understand? You're not going to be that old person that you used to be. When you come into the truth, when you know the truth, and your slate is wiped clean. That's what it means to be reborn. Now you can start all over fresh. You understand? And you come up, Christ said you got to come as a baby, right? What is a baby doing as it's growing? It's learning. The baby is learning, right? He has to learn how to, control his little crying. When first a baby, when they cry, it just, you automatically know that baby want a bottle. He can't control himself when he's that old. You know what I'm saying? A newborn, even sometimes 7, 8, 9 months. The baby turn around and you sleep in that crib and you try to get you a little rest. Soon as you lay down, it's time to get right back up. You gotta feed that baby or change or something, something's wrong with the baby, right? So then, after so long, you are teaching the baby. The baby learns to control itself. To where when he say, when he's hungry, he say baba. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what babies say, right? When they learn how to say bottle, they say baba, right? Teaching them to say bottle. I know black women, they don't do all that goo gaga mess. You understand? Our sisters talk to our babies, you know what I'm saying? At least my ribs did. They talk to them, and they know how to talk, all right? And then after so long, they'll say, I want my bottle. You know what I mean? They'll say, I need my bottle, mama. You know what I mean? Once they get it down, they learn it as they go. That's what you got to do, even as if you 30, if you 15, if you 100, you're 100 years old, you got to start all over like you had a baby. You understand? And you got to learn this truth. You got to learn how to serve the Lord. You understand? And keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments is absolutely how you do it. Okay? Where we at? Oh, you did on that. Okay. Go to, we'll pull one more scripture because we're right at the time. Pull, let me see, go on Acts chapter 1. Okay, verses 1 and 2. All right.
So it's Acts 1 and 1.
Acts 1 and 1. God. 1 verses 1 and 2.
Acts chapter 1, verse 1. The former treaty have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Jesus began both to do and teach.
Both to do what?
Do and teach.
Read that one more time.
Do and teach.
You understand that? Christ did and he taught. You understand? Christ, why would he teach the laws if he didn't have to keep them? You understand? The Christian church say that you can't keep them. They say that Christ was the only one that was perfect, right? You heard it? They say there was only one man that was perfect, and that was Jesus Christ. All right? Christ taught us God's law. The treatise is a written work. You understand? The law, okay? And he turned around and said, of all that Jesus began both to do and teach. You understand? Christ, remember what does the word fulfill mean? To do. Christ kept the law and he taught us the law. He taught us how to keep the law. That was one problem that we had. You understand? That we did not know how to keep the law. Moses knew how to punish you. Like, it's a lot of law. Laws is filled with 2 parts. You understand? It's the law, like the instructions, things you're supposed to do and not do, and then the judgments, the punishments for you breaking those laws, right? Like, for instance, if the white man has a speed limit law right here on Dearborn, right? And you ain't supposed to drive down Dearborn no faster than 35, right? And if you do, he catch you, then what you do? Get a ticket, you gotta go to court, you're gonna turn around and pay a fine. That's the judgment for you breaking that speed limit law. If you break God's law, you're going to be judged, you're going to be punished for breaking his law. However God won't punish you, you understand? The way a white man set up his court ain't like the way the Lord set up his court. You understand? The Lord turned around and has angels and and they carry out orders, and they will turn around and get whatever judgment the Lord, renders to you. Okay, so that's why the Bible said in 1 John 5:3 that the love of God is to keep His commandments. All right, and His commandments are not grievous. Grievous means hard or difficult. It's not hard to keep God's law. The Christian church make it as if it is.
Right.
You understand? They teach you it's hard to keep all them laws. They can't even keep the damn 10 commandments. You can't do 10 whole things. You understand? You gotta be stupid. Well, you can't do 10 things. Okay? And like I said, but the law consists of more than 10. You understand? But the Christian church has threw all of them in the trash. They don't keep not a one. So it does not matter. Okay? Go ahead, we got here. Follow the what?
Like you have had earthly fathers, which you follow, and why not follow the Father of spirits and live?
So you have to pull whatever scripture you're talking about. Okay, go ahead. So the former written work have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Jesus began both to do and teach. Okay, keep going.
Verse 2, until the day in which he was taken up.
Okay, so he did the work until he was taken up. Okay, so he ended up, they killed him, hung him on that cross. You know what I'm saying? And then he rose, and then he was taken up with the Lord. All right, keep going.
After that, he, through the Holy Spirit, had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen.
Okay, so right there, all right, he gave orders. Okay, to you got your hand up? Go ahead.
Like I was talking about Hebrews 12 and 9.
Okay, go ahead, pull that real quick out. Let's see what that says. Sure.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh,
Mm-hmm.
which corrected us,
Mm-hmm.
and we gave them reverence.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Okay, so that's talking about this. Says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh. What's the father of your flesh? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You understand? Real simple. You understand? When you right on it, okay? Don't think astronomical when you understand. That's how the Christian church teach the Bible. All right, they teach it as if it's way out of damn space, but it's right here in your face. You understand? Right here within your reach. You can't understand it. So when you read this Bible, try to think simple. You understand? Real simple. The father of your flesh is your daddy, my daddy. You understand? My grandfather, fathers of your flesh. All right. It said, which corrected us. Usually, your father does what to you? He corrects you. Right. When you going off, usually your daddy is the one that come like them right there. You turn around and hey, sit down. And if they get up, I said you went down. You understand? You correct. Okay. And even when you get a little older, our kids still need direction and correction. You understand? If they 14, 15, 16, they still need us to make sure that they're doing the right thing, that they're keeping God's laws. All right? And then it says, shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Okay, now the Most High, all right, is the Father. Okay? And so of spirits, we all have a spirit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a spirit. Okay? And he is the father of the spirits. All right? So we obey him. Being in subjection, meaning the word subjection is one under one's control or authority. We are supposed to be under God's control every single day. You understand? We support, matter of fact, give me that out in what's that this is the last one I pulled. Romans 7 and 1. Okay? Romans 7 and 1, and we'll end with this one right here. Everybody got it? One second, let me find it. Romans chapter 7, verse 1.
Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
Okay, it said, know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law. Okay, so our brothers and our sisters that's in the world, they don't know the law. You understand? They out tonight having sex, hooking up. You understand? One night stands and all that kind of stuff. They don't know that sex is marriage. They're not in the truth. Knowing the law is knowing the truth, in the truth. Okay? And that's what it means when it says, for I speak to them that know the law. Okay, he's speaking to them that know the truth. Alright? So for those of you that's in this school, that's in the truth, keep on.
How then the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth?
No, for a little while.
As long as he liveth.
You just do the best that you can.
Long as he liveth.
You try to keep the laws that you can.
Long as he liveth.
What does the word dominion mean? What does the word dominion mean?
Slot.
Go ahead. Rulership, control. You understand? I'm gonna break it down. It says how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. We are supposed to be keeping God's laws until we are dead. Remember you use A-signs? You're supposed to keep it dead. Your parents are supposed to be teaching, making sure you keep it as a child. Like me, I make sure my kids keep the law. You know what I mean? And so that when they get older, they can teach their kids to keep the law. You understand? Like for instance, when people do things as tradition, that's what? Pastime, right? My mother did it this way, and I taught it to my kids, and they do it the same way that my mama did it, and then the grandkids, you know what I'm saying? The great grandkids gonna do it the same. It just go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, in my family, family reunions, it was done a certain way. You know what I'm saying? For each year, 1 year to be down in Mississippi where it all started at. Then every I think 2-3 years, I forgot which one it is. Then we'll have it here in St. Louis. You know what I mean? Then after that, it'll be somewhere else. We're all gonna be. It's a lot. We got a huge family, and we'll have it somewhere else. We had one in Canada before. We had one in Detroit, and we just go everywhere we at. We try to, you know, so where our family is, we try to go have a family reunion. That tradition has been going on. I'm almost 42. It's been going on since before I was born.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that tradition has been passed down to where the people that's in charge of the family reunion now, they still doing it the same exact way. You understand? That's how we supposed to be doing with God's laws. The Bible says to train up a child in the way in which he should go, and when he gets older, he shall not depart. Well, if we start teaching our children how to keep God's laws when they're young, you understand? By not giving them pork hot dogs, give them beef and show them the pack. You understand? Like for instance, my little cousins, they come over, right? Play with my kids. And now, they old enough. One of my little cousins, she was, I think like 8 or 9 at the time, right? And she came over and had made all the kids hot dogs, right? And she said, wait a minute, y'all eat hot dogs? Because she know hot dogs is pork, you know what I mean? And I had to show her. I said, he ain't pork, baby. He is beef. And I pulled it back out. She was, oh, okay. You know, and she was cool after that. But see, kids, they pay attention. You know what I mean? She know that we don't eat pork. And then here we go with a pork hot dog in this damn thing boiling. She like, wait a minute, what is this? Like I said, she about 8 or 9 years old. You teach kids that they will turn around, and once they get, that's gonna stick with them. You know what I mean? They gonna say, you know what? No, we ain't gotta eat no pork hot dogs. Get the beef or the turkey. You know what I'm saying? And then even when you shopping, you gotta kind of be careful with the packs because the white man will use like pork casing in certain instances. You know what I'm saying? Like certain brands, you still want to read the pack, even though it say turkey, even though meatloaf is supposed to be beef. You know what I'm saying? The white man still mix it up and grind it up, grind some pork in there every now and again. So you still gotta be cautious and just, you know, so read the labels. That's all. Like for instance, I don't think no Salisbury steak is actually steak. You know what I'm saying? That's all pork. You know what I'm saying? It's all pork and beef mixed in that thing. So you gotta be careful of that. Some turkey meatballs, you gotta be careful of that. You know what I'm saying? Some turkey hot dogs, like for instance, turkey hot dog, fit active turkey hot dogs got pork casing. You know, so they use what is that? The intestines. You understand? They turn around. That's what they wrap the sausage in. You know what I'm saying? The intestines of an animal. Okay, and that's what they fill that intestine up with the sausage, whether it's the beef, or ground chicken. You know what I mean? Ground turkey, whatever it is. The white man mash up a little turkey and a whole lot of pork, and then he'll put on the back turkey. You understand? And then he'll have, like I said, have his stuff mixed in it, or turn around and have a pork case. So you don't want to eat no pork. So you don't want to eat nothing unlawful. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's real simple. Just read the packs, read the label. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal. You can still get your grocery shopping done quickly. You know what I mean? Just read them labels and say, bam, okay, ooh, pork, put that down. Right. And keep on find another. It's another one in the shelf that don't have no pork in it. Whatever it is you're looking for. It's easy, man. But black people, we just such good trained slaves. We think if we ain't eating no pork, what are we going to eat? You know what I mean? It was funny, man. One time we went to camp. I'm gonna say this when we went to class. We went to Detroit, and we was talking about them laws, keeping God's laws. Right? The pork came up, and the brother heard we ain't supposed to eat pork, and he pulled Captain Quad to the side. He said, "Excuse me, please, let me ask you something." He said, "Man, we ain't supposed to eat pork?" He said, "No, brother." He said, "Where's that at?" So we got to break it down. Scripture told him where's that. He said, "Man, what we supposed to eat? Like pork, the only damn thing." He said, "Captain," I said, "Brother, you don't eat chicken?" Oh yeah. You eat turkey? Oh yeah. You eat beef? Oh yeah. Bro, what you mean ain't nothing else to eat? So what you gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? It's just that pork got that ham got a hold on it. You understand? They can't let that ham go out. I'm telling you, boy, they cannot let the ham sandwich go to pork butt, the pork chop. You know what I'm saying? They can't let it go. Right. Alright? But you're gonna have to let it go in order to serve the Lord. Right. And in order to serve the Lord, you gotta keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Alright? And we're gonna go ahead and end the class, and I'm gonna read the announcements. This is the ICPK security announcements. We are the ICPK. We started out on 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with no other Hebrew Israelite group on the planet Earth. Room for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, it means tenth in the Hebrew. It's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give it to the Treasury Department or the teacher. The priest fund is a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. And the upcoming Holy Convocation is the one and only Passover. Next week, we heading up out of here, and we going to go celebrate the Lord delivering us from the hands of the most stinking Egyptians, you understand, and killing them so that we can be free. Alright? And we're going to go, that's worth celebrating. Alright? And go to the website, go to isupk.com, and get all the information. If anyone wants to be a truant in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and war scarf, and with that, shalom Israel.